What's up, Arch City PLO Gold members, as well as you YouTube subscribers? I think I'm going to make this available to the silver members, obviously, as well on the site. But for you YouTube guys, the reason I'm actually giving you a look into some play like this for the first time in a very long time is simply because I do have a little bit of an advantage here. I think I do get worse to call repping the ace here. Could do some checking back there potentially as well. Fine with showing that down. Okay, so he'll definitely call with worse. Yeah, sorry. The reason that I'm giving you guys a little bit of a look into some live footage, live recording, is because I missed the video last week. Just got busy with stuff, didn't get time to get the video out. But try to get you guys about 10 to 15 minutes here. I know most of you that are following on the YouTube channel are no limit enthusiasts. A little too weak here against 3x. But look to make some aggressive plays here. Give pretty clear thoughts on why I'm doing what I'm doing. And we'll go from there. The reason I don't have more than two tables is it gets kind of tough to see with how the tables get distributed on global. So there might be a little lull here, but I'll talk about some conceptual stuff that will help you guys out. For example, right before I started the recording, there's a player here that he was on the button. He limped. I raised with ace-jack of spades in the small blind. There was a call from the big blind. There's a back raise from the limper on the button. They generally don't limp on the button with really good hands. He was playing a 50 big blind stack. I decided to 4-bet. He just called. Ace-high flop, I get it in. He has a flush draw. He had queen 10 of diamonds. Interesting play from him. He ends up losing. But anytime you see a button limp and then a back raise, it's generally not the strongest hand. 4 deuce, a little closer here, but 3x. I am going to go ahead and play. Defending on the left, right, opening with queens. I usually open a little smaller if I were to play higher up or play in a game where rake doesn't matter, but rake is a little bit of a factor here. I'm going to raise a little larger to try to combat that. Just air here. I think I have enough in my range that are better bluffing candidates. I'm just looking to give up with the hand on the left, which I will in fact follow through and do so. Six-handed, if you guys are wondering, you watch the channel, if you're on the site, differences from six-handed to nine-handed, I mean, there's going to be a little more aggression. You're going to be forced to play more hands in general. And from online to live, you're going to see guys that are willing to 3-bet, play the 3-bet, 4-bet game a little bit more. Right here, for example, I don't think this has to be the tightest range in the world. And with ace-king, I am going to go ahead and 4-bet. Stack size is low enough that I think I would usually commit to a shove. Generally, when they do shove in this spot, get a little not scared off, but I feel like a lot of times it isn't exactly worse. But I do think online they can have enough of like that type of hand that I think you can have like some ace-queen too, to where that ends up working out just fine. So yeah, nevertheless, just fine. It is what it is there. But I think when I start getting over 100 bigs deep and they're 5-bet shoving, I don't love to get it in with ace-king in the low-stakes games. They just tend to not show up with jacks and like ace-queen often enough for when they do have like 150 bigs or 200 bigs or whatever. Yeah, I need to reload over here. But anyway, so actually with a little bit of a shallower stack, the Broadway cards are going to go up a little bit in value. Again, look, we got a limper on the button. We're going to try to isolate even out of position. King 10 suit is definitely ahead of this player's limping range, so that's fine. So SPR is about 6 or so. Yeah, I got to start with roughly half pot. Don't think I need to bet super large in this board. Definitely have the range and polarity advantage. So pretty solid start there. I don't care if I keep it a little shallower here, but I would like more room to maybe implement some 3-bet and 4-bet bluffs if I need to, so probably reload in a sec. But yeah, a lot of like for you guys on the site and then YouTube, when you get the monthly like step-by-step video, this is a little closer because I'm shallower. Of course, because I'm shallower, I don't love it as much. I need to, yeah, I forgot that I need to reload when I'm actually in the hand. But yeah, for you guys that are used to the step-by-step stuff, I mean, you can implement that thinking, as I said, in game. Now, for some of you, it's going to take some time. You might want to focus on just one table, especially live when you have a lot more time to act. You can do that when you're playing in person. Obviously, right now with the pandemic, that's going to be really hard for a lot of players, but little 3-bet, 4-bet game here, 5-bet, yeah, this is not a hand I would want to get in on the button in practice in these populations. It's just you're going to run into too many good hands there. But so here, check my option, face a decently sized bet on 8-5 deuce. I do have top pair club blockers. This is generally a little bit of a stronger lead, but I am going to go ahead and call, take one off, see what transpires. Multi-way action makes things a little tricky. I mean, I'm sandwiched in between these guys. He's leading, or he's following through with when two players call him when a 9 clearly is a card that can hit their ranges. Even though I pick up the straight draw, I'm actually going to fold here. I think this would be losing to continue in this spot without really knowing anything about this player, to be quite frank. This is generally 2 pairs or better when there's a raise there. Looks like kind of a bet fold at that point for that player. Might have been a thin value play on the turn, but nevertheless, we can. Check my option on the right. I think when they check, and especially on a board that they didn't raise pre-flop, he doesn't likely have much here. I'm going to bet, kind of protect the 3, get thin value. Going to try to isolate the limper with a Broadway on the button. So here, I don't think the 7 really changes a whole lot. I'm going to overbet as an exploit. I just don't think they tend to defend well against these. At this point, this player should never be leading into me. This is an auto raise every time for me with my range pretty much here. They'll bet to see where they're at a lot of the time. You'll get value in that spot, even with just Queen 10. Fold to the overbet on the right. I'm going to check back here, have showdown value. Kind of tough to get worse to call when the king pops up. Yeah, I got to check. I was thinking it could be a lot of Queen Jack, unfortunately. You could possibly argue a small value bet there. If you get raised, it's probably not a bluff often enough, but a little concerned about too much Queen Jack at that point. I think I played it okay, though. I like raising them in that spot with plenty of value combos, plenty of bluffs. 10-9-8, not the greatest board for ace-10 of clubs, but never going to get more than maybe a street of value here. I could use a little protection. I am going to bet if I can get one of them out of the hand with at least even just like a weak straight draw, and then be able to try to check back if there's like no heart to show down. Obviously now there's not a whole lot I can do. Would have to turn the hand into a bluff. That's still possibly an option for me. I think I am going to bluff here. Do I get straights to fold often enough? I don't know, but I can definitely get hands like 9-8 to fold there. If I get a straight to fold even some of the time. That's where a lot of you guys will just show down your 10 and say like, well, what do I do now? Just hope my 10's good. On that run out, your 10 is just not going to be good often enough in all likelihood. So you got to turn some made hands like that into bluffs. If I can rep the slow played flush on the turn, go ahead and bet, get him off of a lot more hands than I should, then I think it's a decent play. Right table, jacks, pretty easy open under the gun. King high board's definitely going to favor my range. Can definitely do a lot of betting here, and I don't have to bet overly large, to be honest. Start with a small bet. I'll get peeled by a lot that's worse. These guys don't tend to attack these small bets just because they're small as often. 7's not a great card for my range. I don't think he has a ton of those in his range as well. I mean, unless he has specifically like pocket 7s. But have a little bit of showdown value. Get a check. Here, this is pretty close. I don't want to try to isolate with 2 guys. It's possible he does have some king X as well. It's possible he's just floating. I can't just fold jacks every time here. I am going to call. And I'll have to do some bluff catching on the river. I think I can do some folding in this population as well. Pretty quick bet there. A lot of times that is a timing tell. He could have like some 7-6, 7-5, or anything that he's floating with. I mean, you can't just fold everything that's worse than a king at that point. Like, you're going to have to do some calling with jacks and queens. These guys tend to play loose enough online that you can pick off a few more bluffs. I think live, you have to be a little careful about bluff catching like that. You don't make a lot of money bluff catching live. 4-3, this will be too loose, but I'm willing to play because I think I have a skill edge with these guys. I'm going to bet here, a little protection bet. Yeah, if I'm heads up, I think I can rep the board a little bit better. There's probably not as much fold equity multi-way, so I'm just going to check. I'm going to try to steal the pot. I would think, I know there's no flush draw available. I would think that these guys would try to get value out of like two pairs or king with their jack X hand, so I am going to bet. And then I'm going to polarize and pot it. Basically say I either have a straight or I don't. If you try to call with one pair, good luck. If you have two pairs, I'm going to make your life hell. If I get check raised, I think that's obviously the nuts. But sometimes you got to be willing to make these plays, make these guys feel uncomfortable. And it does end up working out more often than not. You just got to be willing to pull the trigger. Yes, the 4-3 was too loose, by the way, in the cutoff. I think I mentioned that, but I do have that gear. I do have that gear, I guess, so to speak, like in my skill set to where if I want to open it up, if I feel like the table's right for it, then I will go ahead and do that. I considered it here just for entertainment purposes, but I think that's a little ridiculous. Can definitely find better hands to 3-bet bluff with, especially when he's in middle position, not in the cutoff. Left table, shorter stack. Got to go ahead and open. Jack 10's going to play decently well in this spot. If it does get folded to me, I don't think I have to squeeze here. I think there could be some infrequent squeezes, but I think calling's just fine, to be honest, out of the big blind. I'm going to check with the open-ender. He still has a little bit of a range advantage here. Quick bet's interesting. I'm going to attack here. I think it's a good spot for it. I think it could look like I'm doing some bluffing, but with 3 players, I get a little bit more respect. I just don't think they like quick c-bet with hands like ace-queen or like better than that there, so it's a good spot to attack with the open-ender. If he bets something reasonable and there's a call, there are some implied odds in all likelihood, especially with straight draws. They're a little more hidden than flush draws. Then you can do ahead and do a little calling. But when I see really, really transparently weak sizings like that, I like to go ahead and attack. So we're getting close to 15 minutes. I think there's been enough hands for a pretty solid short video. A couple good bluffing spots for you guys. You site members, subscribers, you YouTube subscribers as well. I wanted to hook you guys up with this just to kind of say like, hey, sorry for not getting the video up last Thursday. I've been trying to stay on that schedule and keep building the channel, give you guys some good stuff. Like I said, I don't think I did say this. This was like just kind of to make up for it, give you guys your monthly video. Like this was supposed to be the step-by-step video. I figured I'll just give you guys more hands and actual footage. But this will not be a regular thing. This is the type of analysis, the type of quality content the guys that are paid subscribers on our cityplo.com, this is what they're getting. So you have to come over to the site. Everything is priced relatively cheap compared to other training sites, and you're still getting world-class instruction from myself. So looking forward to working with some of you guys, helping you get better. But after this, we'll get back to the regular schedule for you YouTube guys with some of the shorter, quick conceptual stuff that will help you guys in the games that you're playing within. Try to get maybe one more hand in here. We're about the 15-minute mark. See what I get on the button. But yeah, if you guys got any questions or comments as far as you YouTube subscribers, let me know in the comments section. For you site members, of course, you know the deal. Any feedback or questions or anything, go ahead and let me know, and I'll get back to you guys, obviously, as soon as possible. Usually a daily thing when I'm checking the site. I think that'll wrap it up. So yeah, let me know, guys. I'm happy to bring the video to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.